Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Tuesday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. Welcome to the show. We've got a couple people in here already. We got Because of Cam, we got Rome Dog. That's enough for a party. I'm ready to get started. Just a couple of house cleaning announcements. I did post a video yesterday, kind of like a standalone video. It was like by request. I think it was Rome Dog who requested I show off like some of my techniques for especially doing the watercolor part of the watercolor slash pastel pictures that I've been doing lately. So I did post that yesterday, so check that out if you haven't seen it. It's not very long. These things, these live streams usually last much longer. That's only I don't know, like 15, 16 minutes, something like that. So it's worth watching, I think, especially if you're new to this stuff and you haven't watched any of my other streams. If you do like it, obviously like it. And I'm just going to jump right into this drawing tonight. What are we working on? That's a great question. I love asking myself questions. We are working on a black cat. And the reason why is because there's this black cat that's been hanging out in my front yard. I think it's the neighbor's cat. I think it's an outdoor cat, but it's got a collar and everything. So I think somebody's taking care of it. Anyway, it's been walking around in my yard and it kind of inspired me to do a black cat. And I haven't done a picture on black paper recently. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a black cat on black paper. A little bit different than what we've been working on recently, but that's okay. We'll jump back into that maybe on Thursday. But yeah, I'm just going to jump right in. So I got my black paper here. The reason why it looks a little bit cloudy is because I did apply some clear gesso so that I can use some pastels on top of it. Theoretically, I could be doing this in colored pencils as well, but I'm on this pastel kick these days, so I'm going to do this in pastel. I think it'll turn out pretty cool. I got little eyes here that I kind of sketched in. Going to be a little mouth here and stuff. I'm going to try to do this in some pretty vibrant colors, as you can see. We'll just see how it turns out. But anyway, if that's cool with you guys, I'm just going to jump right in. Got my bourbon here. Let's see. Oh, we also have Kinsley in here. Awesome. We got Kid. It is Happy Tuesday. Yes, it is. So no puppies tonight. We're doing Kitty. So I'm going to start with the eyes here, just because the rest of it can be pretty loose and free and stuff like that. But these eyes are going to be really the focal point. So I'm going to start on that. How you guys been? You guys been good? Because the Ken says carpal tunnel surgery. That is not good. Hope that turns out all right. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. This almost looks like white on here, but it is a blue. I gotta get better lighting in here. I really do. During the day when I'm drawing, everything looks nice and crisp and stuff, and then at night, it is nighttime here. I don't know where it is in your neck of the woods, but here it is nighttime, and kind of sucks because it is I have to use these crappy lights. So one of these days I'll get a proper studio going, but I don't know. Very low budget here. I think that's what you guys like about it. Everything's pretty low key. It's just whenever I watch videos of other artists and stuff, they're in these really bright places. Everything's white, everything's sunny. Everything looks like it's in the midday sun. I'm like, man, that looks nice. But that is not for me. Well, that's not in my cards, I guess. It is for me. I mean, I'll take that. That'd be awesome. But anyway. Yeah, I love black cats. I love lots of animals. Nice. Yeah, these guys get a bad rep. Um, people think they're unlucky and stuff like that, but I've always liked black cats. I had a black cat once, which was really cool. And then, like I said, that neighbor's cat is really what inspired this, just because it's so pretty. It must be a kitten, or it must be only a year or two old. I don't. It's not an. It's owned by somebody. I always see it outside. We have bird feeders in the front yard, and this cat just kind of sits underneath there waiting to catch a bird. Um, I haven't seen it catch any, so that's good. I would feel kind of bad if I set up a bird feeder and then a cat came by and ate the bird. That'd not be cool. But yeah, I've always liked black cats. I feel like they get kind of a bad reputation for being like, from superstition and stuff like that, but I'm not. I'm not superstitious. What's the Michael Scott quote? Like, I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious, but I'm not superstitious. Especially when it comes to pretty cats. Yeah, I hope you feel better. Like, I mean, that sucks. Um, I feel like one day I will have to like do something for carpal tunnel. I don't know. Like, I spend a lot of time at the keyboard and typing, and I probably don't practice like good ergonomics or whatever. I don't know what the term is, but yeah. I mean, I feel for you. Yeah, there's a lot of people that come through here that they're not they like need surgery or they're like ill or something like that. Um, feel bad for you guys when that happens. I know that at some point this year I'm going to get sick. I mean, it's inevitable. I always get sick during the snow season. In fact, we got snow today. Like it's so weird. I was not expecting snow. Well, I guess it. Yeah, he's kind of doubled over like he's got a stomach ache. Kid, like you are always concerned about Geppetto. I like that about you. That's cool. Um, but yeah, we got like 3 to 5 inches of snow. It's crazy. Hey MJ, how's it going? I was not expecting that. I mean, I guess like I heard somewhere that it was going to snow, but it like didn't cross my mind. But it didn't really stick to any of the roads or anything like that, so it's not a big deal. All right, so I got that in there. So I never like leave just white one color in the eyes. Like I always like to shake it up a little bit. So we got that base light blue. I know it's hard to see. It looks probably white on camera, but it is blue. Got to kind of smooth in there. So I'm just gonna kind of come over it with this other blue just to kind of give it some shape and definition. Those little slits there in the eyes, I might come back with a black pencil and kind of go back over that. So there's a couple of things I don't like about, like, I might as well talk about black paper. Um, I like drawing on black paper. I like the look of the pictures that I do on black paper. But I'm not a big fan of the paper itself. And it's not this black paper. It's all the black papers for some reason. And it's not just my crappy art supplies. Like I go to art galleries and stuff where there's pictures on black paper that were drawn and stuff, and it's always the same. It's always shiny. Like this is a highly reflective paper for some reason. I don't like that, especially like when I go to take a picture. What I want is the color to be on a very, very dark background. So it's already shiny, and then I apply the clear gesso, and it becomes even more shiny. I don't like that. I mean, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's just frustrating because I want it to be like super black. I want the black areas to be like absence of light, that kind of black. And I can't get it. And I don't think anybody else can either. It's not just me. Because like I said, I go to those art galleries and inevitably there's always something drawn on black paper because it's a fun style, like it's a fun style to be working in light instead of shadows, which is what you get when you work in with black paper. Like the first time I did a couple of black paper drawings, I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I'm like drawing with light, and it's just like that. That's fascinating to me. I always thought that was cool. Let's see, I kind of want the ear to come down this far, so I'm just gonna extend my sketch there. I'm gonna wait to put in some detail. I just want to get some of the rough areas in. All right, so I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna switch to some stick pastels. I'll probably come back to those eyes at some point. I'm not done with those yet. But I want to get some. I want to. Whenever I'm doing these drawings for like a live stream or something, I'm always worried about like taking up too much of your guys' time. I never seem to. Like I usually I don't know. It's like the first couple of drawings and stuff. I struggled with the time management. Like some of these went over 3 hours and stuff. I try not to do that anymore. Um, but um, recently, yeah, recently most of these have stayed under like an hour and a half and stuff. I don't want to jinx it, but I think I've been doing pretty good on time management. But I'm always worried about that. So I always try to get like big areas of color in. It's just part of my process. Different people draw different ways. Like some people might start with the eye and build out from there. I do that sometimes with my drawings that aren't pastel related. But whenever I'm working with pastel, I'm trying to cover like large areas pretty quickly. That's kind of the whole point of pastels versus like colored pencils. Otherwise, you might as well just use colored pencils. Colored pencils are more versatile. You can use them on different more different surfaces. It's going to look like really soft if you like spend the time on it, but you do have to spend the time on it. Like it takes a while to cover a lot of area, and then you really have to press your colored pencil in. I've never seen you draw on black paper before. I'm so excited to see Joe how it turns out. I've done quite a few of these, so like I encourage you to go back and check some of them out because like I don't know, don't check out the bad ones. Only check out the good ones because like there's some bad ones probably. But yeah, I like that contrast, you know. Um, a lot of times I draw in white pencil on black paper, which I'm doing color here, but that's kind of like activate. Well, that worked. There you go. Cool. That one's back. All right, give me 1 second. I'll get the other one back. I hate this. I hate when this happens. Um, the problem is I have this running through like USB to my let me like a big picture of me here real quick. And then activate. Nope. Well, let me try to do this in a different way. Video capture. Anyway, as far as like the there we go. All right, cool. I'll just turn that one off. Okay, I think we're back in business. Hopefully everybody can see everything. Yay! Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so what I've got is like a couple of cameras going through like USB, and for some reason it turns into like this like weird mosaic glitch. It's not anything I can control without just replacing all my stuff, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Anyway, um, it'll work better if like I don't know, I had dedicated devices plugged in, but I've got everything kind of wired together, like almost like duct tape and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. I know. I'm sorry. Anyway, you guys deserve better, and I am so sorry for all of that. But yes, back to what I was saying about drawing on black paper. I enjoy doing color on black paper, but you really don't need all of that. You can do really cool pictures just with white pencil. And the white pencil just kind of acts as like, you're drawing like highlights and stuff like that. So like you could do like the silhouette of a cat just with white pencil, and it'll look pretty cool. So I've done that a lot. I've probably done a black cat before. Yeah, well, no, I've done a white cat, just the highlights and stuff. Hey Tom, how's it going? Hopefully everything's kind of turned out all right on the screen. Hopefully you guys see everything fine now. Let me know if not, that's not the case, but should be. But yeah, the color on black, um, colorful kitty on black paper. Oh yeah, so there was kind of like an electric one. I really need to give I need to find a way to get Kid like the mod power so that she can link to things. But yeah, there's a couple of pictures that I've done. Um, Feel free to like ask in the comment. I'll probably forget, but feel free to drop a comment on this video if you want to see more examples. And I'll just link to them if you want. Um, I'll probably forget to do that by tomorrow, but if you remind me, absolutely, I will do that for you. because I appreciate it. I appreciate that you take an interest. So like I definitely want to. Yeah, Party Bear, that was another one. Yeah, we're doing a black kitty there, Tom. Appreciate you hanging out with us. But yeah, a lot of times I do it with like colored pencils. I like drawing in colored pencils on black paper, especially like white pencils. Like if I, so I never try to phone it in, right? But there are some times when I'm just not prepared to do like a bunch of setup. One of the reasons why I'm doing this tonight is I didn't really have the time to go off and do a watercolor background like I've been doing, all that jazz. Um, there's something pure about just grabbing a piece of paper and a pencil, you know, like you just grab a piece of paper and a pencil and you just start drawing. So there's two ways you can do that. One is like with charcoal or graphite on like white paper, or you can grab a white colored pencil and do the same on black paper. And I've done so many of these pictures on black paper with colored pencils that I literally had to buy more white, just a white colored pencils. I have a whole set of colored pencils, and the only one I had to like really like replace was the white one. Unfortunately, like Michaels and Hobby Lobby, they sell individual pencils, so like it was fine. But I just think it's funny that like I've had those pencils for years, and the only one that I've really had to replace was the white one, just because I draw so many of those pictures. But yeah, you're drawing basically drawing the highlights, the light areas of a picture, and in this case, it's a pretty black cat. So we're gonna have like blue highlights and stuff. I mean, I know this doesn't really show up as blue on the camera, but yeah, blue highlights. And you're just catching where the light behind the cat is kind of showing through. So like he's kind of backlit, and you don't draw the black areas obviously because it's already black on the black paper. Um, you just draw the highlights poking through. And I'm still kind of like figuring out where everything is on this paper and stuff. So I'm kind of doing it gingerly. But if you've seen any of my stuff in the past, the more confident I get in where everything is, then I start kind of picking up a little bit, picking up the pace just a little bit. And that's kind of cool because like I wasn't always like that. That's something I've developed as like an artist, is like the ability to kind of like be a little more confident and kind of get there faster. My cat wants to come in here. I kicked the cat out because you guys have seen in the past where the cat just gets really annoying, and I have to like take her out halfway through the broadcast. They're all being annoying lately. You can probably hear the cat back there like meow, meow. Cat's like, I know you're drawing a cat. Why can't I be in there? Cat's so funny. That cat doesn't ever want anything to do with me. And then like I'm doing something and then the cat wants to play. Like I'm always trying to get that cat up on my lap. Like it's not a lap kitty. Every now and then I can. But I want the cat on my lap a lot, right? Because it's so cute. And I can't get her to. And then I start doing like a drawing or something and the cat's like, "Let me play. I want to play." So, anyway, kid's like, let the cat in. Jeremy, is your cat black? No, I have one of those orange kitties. I'd love to have a black cat. But no, I'm doing this drawing because like the neighbor's cat's been coming around trying to get at my birds that's out there at the bird feeder, and he just looks so cute. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing a black kitty. All right, so the trick is that you vary like colors up. So right now I've got some light blues. I've got a little bit of like a darker blue. But the more you kind of move into the shadows, you kind of start wanting to break it up with, some other colors. So this is where I start getting more creative. I kind of want the eye. I want as far back to here to start building up this cheek, this little kitty face thing. We can call it cheek. So, one, this is in like the shadows and stuff, so it's going to be a darker color anyway, but it also gives us the opportunity to kind of like break up the picture and use different colors. So like you guys have seen me, especially like with the pictures I've been doing with the watercolor over the watercolor and stuff. I've been like really, being colorful and stuff. Um, that's the other thing. Like I look at my videos and my kind of portfolio here on YouTube, and I'm like, man, that's a lot of monotone colors, or like not monotone. I keep saying monotone. I really mean monochromatic. The but yeah, there's like a lot of like black and white pictures essentially, and like my coffee paintings, those are like all like one color. So I kind of wanted to break it up a little bit and stuff, and now I've probably gone too far in the other direction. Now I've got all these like really colorful pictures. They don't match reality exactly, but they're fun. They're a lot of fun to make, and it's a lot of fun to just kind of be free and experiment with color and just have fun. But yeah. Jeremy painted Archer about a year ago. Don't point to that one, kid. That one's not good. Black cat with green eyes. So they look green, but they're supposed to be blue. It just looks green because of the lighting in here. When I post this tomorrow, it'll look better, I think. So just kind of bear with that. Um, there's a distortion on the color in here, as always. But yeah, it did snow today, and it's so weird because like I thought we were done, and then that Punxsutawney Phil comes out of his hole. Apparently, we get like 6 more weeks of winter. I'm looking forward to spring already. I don't want to rush spring. Like I don't mind the snow. The snow is okay, but also it's kind of like I don't know. I kind of looking forward to spring. I want to get out there with some greenery. We finally got like blue skies, so that's cool. Except for the snow today. Yesterday was really warm and we had blue skies. It was nice, and I'm like, I want to venture out there. I got a book. It's over there, or else I'd grab it. It's MJ says you're colorblind. Hey, it wouldn't matter. Like I said, the lighting's all messed up in here. So like you could be seeing this perfectly, and it still wouldn't matter. It would still kind of be off color. So yeah, I mean, I wonder sometimes if I'm colorblind. How would you know? Like I guess you could be tested or something, but otherwise, how would you even know if you were colorblind? You just see what you see. It's not like my dog runs around saying, like my dogs probably don't even think there is a third color of them. I don't know how dogs actually see. I just know that the thing is they're supposed to see in black and white. My dogs probably don't even know what color is. That's amazing to me. But no, it's like it's just the lighting in here is kind of weird. Yeah, snow in Kentucky, we get snow like twice in a year. That's a little bit new. We don't usually get a ton of snow. Um, we usually get a fair amount once a year. Like we'll get dumped on, and then that'll be it, and then I'll move on, and we just won't see it anymore. But this year, it's a little bit different. We've gotten quite a bit of snow, and like all of January was covered in snow. So that's where I'm coming from. It's like all of January was covered in snow, and now I'm just kind of snowed out. I'm like just done with it. I want to oh, that's what I was talking about. I got a book on uh this is something I've talked about before. I know I've talked about it, and you're like, yeah, right, Jeremy, you're never gonna do this. But I've talked about creating sidewalk art, right? So like I'm using pastels, right? This is essentially chalk. And then I've got some street chalk anyway, so like sidewalk chalk, the stuff that kids use, it's like boring colors and stuff. I need to get better colors and stuff, but I always had this fantasy that I'll just go around and create temporary art, right? Which I love the concept of. I've done that kind of thing before. You guys have seen where I've created wood burning stuff. I'm probably going to create another one of those pretty soon too, by the way. But I've created wood burning drawings, and I've talked about like just hiding them out in nature and stuff for somebody to find. Well, I love the idea of temporary art, art that's not meant to last. Like this picture, like you guys freaked out the other day when I started talking about burning my art because I just like want to get rid of some of it, right? Um, but that all comes from this place of like I love the idea that art is not meant to be forever, right? It's meant to be like a mayfly. It just kind of pops into existence, lasts a few days, and it's gone, right? Or at least it could be like that. I love that. I love that concept. So um, there is. I got this book, and there's like festivals for this stuff. Like people do this stuff. I mean, they're really good at it. They go out and they create entire murals um, on the sidewalk, on the pavement, at the beach, wherever. Um, and some of this stuff is like really really amazing, almost like Renaissance art. That's how great this stuff is. And it's like drawing this cat. It's not phoned in. It's not like you're drawing a little robot or something like that and calling it a day. You're actually putting some time and effort into it. Some of these things, like, they really do look like Renaissance paintings. That's how great, cool they are. So I got this book, and it talks about how to do that kind of stuff. And like some of it's pretty straightforward. It's basically like doing this on a larger scale. But also it talks about how to make your own chalk, and how to make your own pastels and stuff, and like different techniques and stuff. So I really think I picked up the book. I actually got it from the library. I need to buy it now that I like it. But um, it's it's pretty cool. I think I'm going to spend some time with that this summer, or at least this fall, like when not fall, spring, when it gets warmer. Um, it is something that I'm looking forward to do. So expect some of that. Expect some temporary art where I just go out and I do something, you know, in the park, or like some public place. I I don't want people watching me do it. Like I do this live stream, but like it kind of sounds a little weird to me to do that in public. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I might sneak into the like a park or something and do it when no one's watching, like super early in the morning before people get up or something like that. We'll see. But as always, I'll make a video out of it, so you guys can expect that. So I think we're getting pretty we're doing pretty well on this kitty's face, and we can probably start moving into like other areas, I think. So that's cool. So now that I know where things are here, I can kind of like move up into some other space. I need to get, yeah, all right. So just thinking things through. Jeremy the Sneaky Artist. Yeah, I think it'd be fun, like sneak into, I just love the idea of temporary art. That's really what it is. And, you know, I like the idea of it being a mystery, how it got there. So, like, if I'm out there, it'll probably take me a little while. So maybe I will get caught. I don't know. Maybe this isn't a great idea. But I like the idea of, like, one night it's not there, and then you wake up the next morning and like maybe a morning jogger comes through, and it is there. I like that. And then people are like, how did this get here? How did this beautiful piece of art end up on this this sidewalk? I just love that. One of those who done it type things. Hey, Coopart, how's it going? I always like it when Coopart shows up. I don't know why, but just seeing Coopart here, like, because he's always so positive, or she. uh Shout out Jeremy. It's like, that makes me feel good. Anyway, um but yeah, so like I think it would be fun if just mysteriously showed up overnight, my art and stuff. I think that'd be kind of cool. So I'm into that. I think it'd be fun. Temporary art. You see how I'm like bearing colors here, right? So I'm like got the cool blue, or like purples and blues and stuff like that, and then up here I'm kind of moving it into like warms. I just wanted to like point that out. Like, this is intentional. I'm not just accidentally. I didn't accidentally pick up the wrong pencil. Go for it. Hope you don't get arrested. So that's another thing. I don't know. Like, is that legal? Is it illegal? Like, I guess technically somebody could claim that's vandalism, but it's temporary art, right? So like, like I'm willing to get arrested for that, to be honest. Like I would get arrested for creating art, and it's not like you're going out there with paint or something. It's not like you're actually damaging anything. You're just using chalk on the sidewalks. First time it rains, it's going to disappear. That's kind of the whole point of it. It's temporary. Um, that said, that'd be awesome to get arrested for creating art. That would be like street cred art. Hey Packer, how's it going? Packer's got this like thing going on where he thinks I'm the Punisher. He keeps calling me the Punisher. Um, but no, I think I would go to jail for art. Why not, right? I mean, instant street cred. Like I would put that on my resume. I am an artist who's been to jail for my art. But no, I don't know. It's like it's chalk. Kids use that, Like you go to a park sometimes during the summer and you see some of this stuff out there. Adults didn't do it. Not to knock any kids, but my stuff would just be better. That's all. That's the only difference, It's still basically kid style art. It would just be like, I'd put some time into it, is what I'm saying. I wouldn't be drawing like, I don't know, like a little cartoon dragon or something like that. I would be trying to like do a full on animal like a tiger or something like that. That would be kind of cool. Um, Mediums like chalk or not, but mediums that stay are like as far as like getting in trouble or something like that. I can't imagine I'd get in trouble. If I got in trouble, it would be one of those things where I would I would seriously laugh. Um, like while while the cops are slamming me to the ground and putting me in the back of the thing and like beating the crap out of me, I would be laughing the entire time. and incarcerated. I love it. Anyway, I think that would. I mean, I'm just joking. I really don't think there's any like trouble in it and stuff like that. I mean, it's temporary. Like if somebody came by and they were complaining or something, I would just like look. Let me go grab a hose. I'll wash it off because it's just chalk. You know. But anyway, I did love the idea of you know I would tell the judge. Like I mean, I assume you go in front of the judge. I'd be like, look, judge, I don't tell you how to do your thing. You don't tell me how to create my art. Well, Jeremy, you're going to jail. Can't fight the law. Yeah. But no, I do think that like this sort of like temporary art meant to just be consumed in one day. People out there, they're walking in the park, they see this beautiful thing that I created. I love how in this fantasy, I'm assuming that it's going to be beautiful art. It may be crap. Like I may end up like going to jail for crap art. But no, in my mind, it's beautiful art. It's out there in some park or something. Um, Maybe that park in Louisville, Packer. I think that'd be kind of cool. Just like there on that road or something like that. Just create some pretty cool art. Not meant to last, just there for the day. And I think I would get a lot of enjoyment out of that. Now, of course, that's a big project, right? So, like, you have to think that through. And that's part of the appeal to me. Like, this, I didn't put a lot of thought into it. It's just, it is what it is. That's something that you would plan in advance because, like, you'd have to be out there. You need your supplies. You would need to make sure that you have enough chalk to kind of cover the area. Um, the other thing about drawing on a scale like that, which I've never done, so I'm just assuming, but it's something that's predictable is you know like you're drawing at an incline, right? So you're standing here and your canvas is on the ground and it's several feet in front of you. That's an interesting perspective, and a lot of people have done some really cool things with that optical illusion, right? So like you're seeing it from like I don't know, it's just like a weird perspective. And some people have done some cool optical illusions. They've done, you know, some like mazes, I guess, like little platform, like hopper type things and stuff like that. I'd have to do something like that. I don't really know what I would do. Like right now, I would think I'm going to draw a cat, but that's probably because I'm drawing a cat. You know, it's not like I put a lot of thought into that. Um, but yeah, I think that would be kind of cool. So that's something to look forward to in spring, whenever that comes around. We'll see. Meanwhile, I'm just drawing, just trying to make it through the months. Um, I've joked on this channel, but it was like many months ago that it's just something I always say. But January and February are the flyover months, and my joke is that, like, you know how there's certain states that are like have the reputation of being flyover states, like I don't know, like Kansas or something like that. Not to knock anybody who lives in Kansas. I've been through Kansas. I love Kansas, but the reputation is you don't really want to drive through Kansas. It's like just a state that you have to get through, and you don't want to fly over it. It's just a you never want to stop in Kansas, they say, which I don't agree with. I think Kansas is beautiful, but it's a flyover state. Is the joke, right? So like I feel like the months of January and February are the flyover months. You just kind of you just kind of want to get through it, you know. Like there's nothing happening in January or February. I mean, I don't know, like Valentine's Day this weekend and stuff like that. Maybe maybe that's the thing, but otherwise ain't much going on. Well, that's not true. Captain America's coming. Like I'm gonna retract everything I just said. There's plenty going on actually. But no, it's like you just want to get through it. Sometimes I use my eraser to just kind of lift things up. I mean, I just wanted to point that out real quick. I have to remember to like narrate. All right, so I'm liking where everything is. Still kind of figuring out where things are going to be. Let me take a step back and look at this. I was lucky to meet Ken Werner at Comic Con. Oh, that's awesome! Yeah, he does street art, optical illusion. I love that kind of stuff. Like I said, it's not like it's anything new. People do this stuff, but I want to become one of those people, you know, that are out there. Just something about public works of art. Um, you know, works of art, temporary works of art. Something about that really appeals to me. I've talked about how when I was a kid, me and my friends we used to like and don't do this, kids. Like I know that there are some kids who hang out on my channel and stuff like that. This is not advice. This is not anything that you should do yourself. It's just me being stupid. It's something I did. So when I was younger, I used to go with my friends into like storm drains, and we would like graffiti inside of there and stuff. And to me, that's different. That's different than like you know graffitiing a building or something like that, which I feel like that would be actual damage. Um, but inside of a storm drain and stuff, it's just like no one's ever going to see it. That's kind of the point. And it's just something that struck me about all that, where it's like, there's this thing I did when I was younger. Um, that it's kind of like my philosophy today. It's like it's temporary art, It's like why does things have to last forever? Like, look at Banksy stuff. I mean, people like if Banksy did a mural on a wall, somebody's going to carve that out and sell it just because Banksy's money. Banksy's portraits are worth stuff, right? Mine are not. Banksy's used to not be, right? So like Banksy used to do you know, graffiti and stuff on the side of walls before he was famous and stuff, and people would just paint right over it because it was temporary. It wasn't really meant to last. It does last because like Banksy is Banksy, and people want to preserve that stuff. But back in the day, like I went to San Francisco in 2012, and there was a couple of Banksys that back then Banksy wasn't as popular. Like he was still popular, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't as popular as he is now or as well known. Um, like they hadn't done Exit Through the Gift Shop, which I think is like really what put him on the map. Um, but yeah, so like in 2012, I went to San Francisco and there were several Banksy paintings there that I went out of my way to go and see. Like, I mean, I would cross the entire um, like city just to see one, and there were three of them there, I think, at the time, and I got to see at least two of them. I might have seen a third. I don't remember. It's been a couple of years, but anyway, point is, those are all gone now because at that time they weren't preserving these things, but now somebody would go in and they would probably tear down that building just to keep that Hanksy preserved. At the time, it was like one of those things that you would go and see and stuff. Like, I think they had plexiglass covering up one of them and stuff like that. But like I look up online, whether or not this thing's still there and stuff. No, it's gone. It's been taken, and I guess that's cool, you know. But it is one of those things where it's like it never really was meant to last. It was supposed to be like a statement or something. I really love the color scheme of this kitty. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Um, yeah, it's just supposed to be like a cool cat. Like, it looks cooler. The lighting sucks and it's so reflective. I hate that. But yeah, and then likes the color scheme. That makes me feel good. All right, so I'm gonna move up into this ear here. So again, all the detail is like really in the face. Like when you get away from the face, you can kind of get a little more freer with your marks. Be a little bit looser. That's kind of the style. Oh, I was right, by the way. So like, yeah, pastels are so nice. I don't know why everybody's stuck on like colored pencils, and it's not like I want to knock colored pencils because like I recognize colored pencils are awesome too. You can do all the same things with colored pencils. It's just for me, it's so much faster with the pastels. The pastels you can soften out, and you can get like you've got pastel pencils, but you also got like these big thick ones that you can use to cover like really large areas pretty quickly, and then you can kind of like smooth those out and kind of like blend them together and stuff like that. I can't do that with colored pencils. I tried to do that with colored pencils, and then I start missing the quick aspect of it, where you can get like lots of color. Then you guys have seen me struggle with this. I'm like, well, let me try oil pastels, and that works to a degree, but like mixing oil pastels and colored pencils. But to me, it's not the same. To me, I'm a pastel guy, and it's not like that's the only thing I do, but it is like probably one of the stronger tools in my belt. It is something that works really well for me, I think. Jeremy gets famous and we gotta find the series he painted to cash in. This was many, many years ago, so good luck. But no, all I would do is like hide a new treasure. Um, I would love to do a treasure hunt, to be honest with you. Um, let me go real dark here. So like you can get in like really good blocks of color with pastels that you just can't do this with colored pencils. Not in any kind of like sane way. You would have to basically use some other medium. Um, Otherwise, you'd be working on this for like days. Like this color I just added in colored pencils. Good luck. You'd be burning through your pencils like through water, wearing them down to a nub, and it would take you a while to do it. So that's why you use pastels. That's why you use pastels. And that's the benefit of pastels. They're pretty cool. So you see how smooth I made that, right? So like as I get down into here, because I want that cool kind of like abstraction, I just kind of leave them un. I just make my marks, and I don't blend them in. I want them to look kind of grainy through here, and kind of like as I go out there and stuff like that. But anyway, um, so the closer you get to the cat itself, yeah, you kind of want to blend these out. but this one, yeah, cool. You know, and then like as you kind of go over these things with like different layers and stuff, the closer you get to the cat, kind of like blend that in. But the further away, leave those marks because it looks cool. I mean, here's the thing. This is what they won't tell you in art school. It's all about making things look cool. Okay, maybe they'll tell you that in art school. I don't know. I've never been to art school, but I just think it's funny to say. It really is about making things look cool. You want this cat to look cool, and you know, like some of these marks that you're making, it's strictly for style. You know, like I was saying in my last video, it's all about the style of the work. Like I'm not telling a story here with this cat that that's all that great. Like I mean, I think it's a fair representation of a cat, but there's not much else to it. You're looking at this cat because it looks cool. Um, Maybe you might hang this cat up on your wall because you like how the cat looks or something like that. You don't even know this cat's name. It's all about style. Hey, Hamrib! Hey, Hamrib! Guys, Hamrib, you need to check out Hamrib's channel. Hamrib is my favorite artist on YouTube by far. I am super honored that she's in my chat right now because that is so cool. I am like, that is my hero. Honestly, go check out Hamrib's channel. Best wash art, hands down. She is awesome. My stuff looks like crap compared to her stuff. That is cool. You made my day. Thanks, Hamrib. But no, yeah, it is really all about the style. Like this cat, I mean, it's kind of a cute cat and everything like that. But you guys are looking at it because of like the style of the pastels and stuff like that. So anyway, but no, that's kind of cool. Like Hamrib is my favorite artist. So like for her to stop in here, that's cool. You guys have seen me like dabble in gouache. Like Hamrib is like a master. Like honestly, her stuff belongs in like a museum and stuff. And like she's pretty big on YouTube and stuff. So uh, it's not like she's not without recognition. Like I feel like my view of her is echoed by many. So anyway, in fact, don't go check out Hamrib because you're gonna go check out Hamrib's art. And you're going to come back and you're going to be like, well, I used to think Jeremy was awesome, but now I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go and hang out on Hamburg's channel instead. No, I'm just kidding. YouTube's big enough for like everybody. We're all kind of in it together. It's cool. But no, you're going to go and check out her channel and you're going to be like, wow, Jeremy's portraits suck. But no, yeah, and it's essentially in here. Like also, you're like if you've ever watched Adventure Time, I make this joke because she said it at one point. And I'm like, you know what? That's right. I watch a lot of Adventure Time, and she sounds like BMO. She sounds like BMO from Adventure Time, which I think is hilarious because BMO is an awesome character. I love BMO. One of my favorite. Just Adventure Time is just one of my favorite shows. It's such a wholesome show. It's a great animated series. I wish they were still like I think they've wrapped up, but yeah, I love Adventure Time. I love I love BMO. But no, I mean that's a great honor. I appreciate that, Hammer. It kind of caught me by surprise there. I don't know what to say. That's cool. Yeah, you guys should check out some Hammer up there. You won't regret it. I'll regret it because you won't ever come back to my channel, but that's all right. It's worth it. But no, I mean, I kind of wish, I was better at doing gouache. Now I kind of wish I was doing one of my watercolor pictures because I know that she's into that. But yeah, I kind of wish I was better at gouache. I love the idea of gouache. I just love the idea of painting. I would love to be a better painter. It's something that I need to spend some time practicing on. As you guys know, and like who's been around for a while and stuff. I am a self-taught artist. I only know what I've spent time on. I spent more time on pastels than I have on anything else. So it will probably be a little while before I could consider myself a painter, but it is something that I am interested in. It is something that I want to explore a little bit more. And I kind of like gouache over anything else. Gouache is I feel like so if I spent some time on painting, I think it would be a combination of watercolor and gouache. So like I would use watercolor as kind of like a base, and then I would come back over it with the gouache. And the reason why is because gouache is like opaque versus watercolor, which is transparent. And I just, coming from like pastels and coming from like other mediums and stuff like that, I feel like having the ability to go over things in an opaque way is more my style. Like I think I would struggle just doing watercolor personally. Hammer asks, how do you preserve the pastel works you have, Jeremy? Mine just gets so messy very quick. To be honest, you got to kind of frame it like almost immediately if you care. Like most of my work, I don't really try to preserve. Like I just do these things for practice. I'm still learning and stuff. Um, I don't usually give these away to other people or anything like that. When I have to, or when somebody wants me to, uh, it's basically like frame it immediately. Now there's that fixant stuff that people use and everything, but it is not something that is I found really works well. Like I have tried to not just with this, but like with charcoal as well. It works better with charcoal, but with pastel pictures, I have really struggled using fixant to like kind of lock the colors in and lock the powder into the paper. The only thing that really works in my mind is get it behind glass. Get it behind glass and get it behind glass quickly. And then, because you don't even want like dust to settle on. Like I've got animals and stuff like that. I always worry about like, fur and stuff like that. Um, there's that paper, like, was it glycine or something like that? You can always put it between, you know, protective sheets and try to preserve it that way. But yeah, you really don't want to like leave it out. I know this isn't great advice, but it is what it is. You basically kind of want to protect it like right away, essentially. But yeah, it's crazy that this is just practice, but this is the style most people want to achieve with the pastels. Well, yeah, I mean, what's cool about it is it is kind of like a loose style, like I am not putting a lot of thought into what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of like switching back and forth between pastels. I mean, you know this. I've seen. You're acting like you don't know these things. You already know these things. I've seen your video on using soft pastels, which is amazing portraiture. But yes, it is kind of like, you know, when dealing with pastels or just like drawing in general, the looser the style, the better. I am not I'm not like into photorealism anyway. My philosophy is if you want a photo, just take a photo, right? If you're gonna create art, let's create some art. Let's get fun with it. Um, you just kind of make marks on the paper and then see where it goes. I often talk about like faces and clouds and stuff, and that's what it is to me, especially like when working with pastels, because pastels become very cloud-like very quickly once you start smoothing things out. Um, you you are basically working with like faces and clouds and stuff. So like just let it go wherever it goes. It's I mean you can make mistakes, but it's one of those things where it's like it's very hard to make a mistake that you can't recover from, you know? Because like I don't know, I'm not very happy with this ear, but this ear is fine enough, and like I can always kind of like smooth things out and just kind of build on top of it. As long so as long as you got the right paper with the right tooth and stuff, and I've talked about like how for my pictures I use that clear gesso to give myself enough tooth. You can just kind of like smooth something out and then kind of come back over it. So like for example, I'm not happy with that ear. I kind of want some more fur like substances up in there and stuff. So like I'll just smooth that stuff out and then come back over it with a black pastel. Um, I would it's a lot easier for if like you just kind of use the paper underneath and stuff, but if it's not going the way you want, pivot and go in a different direction. Yeah, the photorealism, it's like I don't know. I see especially on YouTube. You know, a lot of time, like a lot of people are into that kind of stuff, which is totally fine. You know, that's cool. I get it. I mean, it's fascinating when you can like create something that realistic. I'm fascinated by that stuff. I don't have the patience for it. I do not. And you know, I do a lot of these live shows and stuff. There's no way that I could do photorealism on a live show. There's just not enough time. Um, you know, usually my live streams I can get in under an hour and a half. And to me, that even feels like a bit long. Like I feel bad for you guys having to watch like an hour and a half of me doing this. But um, yeah, there's no way you're gonna do like a photorealistic picture of this cat in like an hour and a half. I'm sorry, and unless you're like I don't know, you got like skills that I don't know of. Um, I can't do it, but anyway. Um, so I really want to do this, but I have a quick question. Do you sketch everything out first, like all the outlines? Sorry if that doesn't make sense. Fair question. You could go either way, and I've done either way. Um, if you are concerned about making sure that you get all the right proportions and that your cat or whatever it is looks realistic, you can kind of map it out beforehand. Um, some people, I mean, you know, like if you're a new artist and stuff, I don't see anything wrong with like tracing if like you're just getting started, but eventually you're going to want to get out of that. Like you don't want to like get into bad habits. So like I hesitate to even say that you could trace and stuff because you really need to be learning the basic principles of how you get a get proportions into your drawings and stuff. I spend a lot of time trying to freehand drawings just to learn those kind of skills. Again, self-taught artists, ain't nobody else here. I'm relying on my own ingenuity to like learn these things. So I purposefully try to like limit my cheats in order to learn. But not everybody has to do that, and you don't have to do that. Like you can use like a grid system to like make sure that you get everything squared away. I like to do kind of like a hybrid. I like to take and give myself like little mapping points. So I would instead of like drawing out like a full-on grid or something like that, I might put a mark here, like a little small mark or something, and a little mark here so I know where the eye is. And same deal over here. And I might put a mark down here to like know where the mouth stops and so on. So like these little like markers I use just to kind of like orientate myself, and then I try to freehand. So that's what I try to do. Um, but yeah, so like whatever you need to progress and stuff, and then try to build beyond it. So like again, you don't want to like force yourself into bad habits, and I hesitate to even like say start with bad habits and stuff because like eventually you're gonna want to break them. But yeah, I mean I even struggle with that and stuff like um, especially like with people. I still struggle really hard with people and drawing people in the correct proportions. But that said, you know, sometimes I do just kind of like go all out. There's another artist I like on YouTube. So Hamrip's my favorite painter. Uh, I also like this guy named Mad Charcoal, and what he does is he just like makes a mess on the paper, and then kind of like starts carving out features from that. And I think that that's a good technique. So like if I was doing that with this cat, I might just come in and just make like a big cloudy mess, and then start saying, oh, okay, that's where the eye is, and so on, and kind of work from that way. Um, so it's kind of like either way. And I've kind of been doing both. I don't know where my comfort zone is yet, where I kind of like want to stick with one over the other, but it is you know, it is something that I try to do. Like, I don't know, when I'm trying to like draw realistic pictures, I might actually like sit down and start with the eye and just kind of work my way out. But it's I don't know, depends on my mood, I guess. Either way works. Whatever works for you. I'm so bad at the markers thing. Soft pastel is also hard to correct if you get the lines wrong, I think. Um, it could be, you know, like let's see. If I want to say I don't like this line here and I just kind of want to correct it. If I very lightly come in with like a kneadable eraser, it's not like this stuff is set in stone. Um, you know, like if you're drawing in ink, then it's a little hard to correct, but you can lift the stuff back up, and you see how it still leaves like a light line. That doesn't matter, you know. I'll just kind of like draw back over it, and just kind of go from there. Now, if I wanted to like lift up a lot of this color and stuff, yeah, I might struggle with that. But I don't. I find that like, okay, say I don't like that mark, right? That mark irritates me. All I'll do is just kind of like draw around it, right? So I'll like make that part of the whiskers, and I actually like that mark, so I'll just kind of, But if I don't like that, then I'll just kind of work it into the picture and kind of like make it work. You know, there's no real mistakes. I think it's like if there's a perceived mistake, you just kind of like if I don't like that. Actually, I like all these lines I'm making, so this is terrible. I can't use an example. All right, so oh man, that's a good one too. All right, you just kind of have to like roll with it. I'm trying to make a bad mark so that I can show how you recuperate from it, but that's funny. Oh, that's right, you are in the Philippines. Wow, what time of day is it there? Actually, I like all these marks. I'm like trying to intentionally make a bad mark so that I can recover from it. All right, anyway, I don't like that mark, right? So that one I don't like. So um just out of actually I kind of like that mark too. That one's pretty cool. Anyway, so I don't like that mark. So I just kind of like blend it in, right? So like just because it's pastel pencil doesn't mean that you can't recover from it. And it leaves this like little residue and stuff. I kind of like that. There's nothing. It's hard to like. It's hard to make a mistake when you're drawing so loosely. It just ends up being part of the picture. Like I was trying to screw up those whiskers just to prove a point, and I couldn't do it. That's fine. Yeah, I'm trying really hard to make bad. Um, okay, I can make bad marks, but it's just not happening today. I don't know. Yeah, like I always get nervous doing whiskers, honestly, on cats, but these whiskers are actually turning out halfway decent. So, all right, well, tune in next time for mistakes. I just can't be bothered to make mistakes this time. I don't know. I'm just that awesome, I guess. But that's funny. Um, but no, like okay, so like I also do like ink, right? I draw ink drawings. There's a elephant that I did on Friday is a good example of it. That's a great place to talk about mistakes because like that it is ink. It's not like you can erase it. It's not like you can just kind of smudge it in. You just kind of have to roll with it, and if you don't like something, you just kind of make it part of the art. You kind of just work it in so that it's like part of the scribble or something like that. And it's yeah. So that's what yeah, that's a great point, Hamrib. If you start off with bad habits, that's just habits that you have to unlearn. So you might as well start with good habits. And the good habits, I think, is well, like with this cat here, I'm not drawing lines. Actually, I should probably talk about that. So there are methods of drawing, like the Loomis method. I think that's what it's called, where you kind of like start with like shapes and lines and so on, and that's how you draw. That's not how I like to draw. I like this, like if this was like a head, right? I like to draw like I'm sculpting, right? So I'll like, you know, push some of the color in and I'll push some of the color in over there. Now I got these like little alien eye holes and stuff, right? And then I'll push in some color to make a mouth and stuff. That's how I like to draw. I like to build forms. I don't like to draw lines. I like to draw um planes, I guess, and like moldy like clay objects and so on. I'm probably not explaining this very well, but I think that that's good habits. You can try the Loomis method. A lot of people do that. It's probably actually like the easier way to learn to draw. But I think there's some value in just like starting with a mess and trying to get a shape out of it. Start with a mess of like pastel and then try to like get eyeballs out of it and get mouths out of it and so on. If you go back to my early days, don't actually do this because they're all terrible drawings. But if you've been here since the beginning, you know that I was doing that with charcoal. That's where I started learning how to draw. Um, you just make masses of charcoal, and then you start carving out features from it with like your kneadable eraser, and then you reinforce some things with your pencil and so on. Hemrip says, next stream, Jeremy is going to make a bad drawing, but it doesn't work. Yes. I feel like all right, all joking aside, I feel like I'm capable of making a bad drawing. I've done plenty of them. I'm just saying that it does not seem to be working for me today. Um, I don't know. This isn't the best drawing, so maybe this is a good example of a bad drawing, but I don't know. I think it's kind of it becomes harder to make a bad drawing when you let go and you just realize the drawing's going to become whatever it's going to become, and you just like you know you just have fun with it. Like again, none of these pictures are like going for sale anywhere. They're not going up on Etsy or wherever people sell things. This is not a commission. It's just me drawing for fun, me trying to learn more more techniques and practice techniques I already know. I don't feel like I'm learning anything here, but I am certainly practicing things that are in my tool belt so that I get better at them and stuff. So like, just dealing with an eye, for example, how do you make the eye look kind of glassy and stuff? Well, you kind of build up several layers of stuff and you put like a little highlight on it. That's all there is to it. It's not science. Well, it is kind of science, but it's not rocket science. There you go. It's just, you throw in some colors and stuff. It looks kind of cool. And then you come back and add like a little highlight over that and it starts to look like a realistic eye. Um, you got like this little eyebrow here catching the light. So you kind of want those to be like warm colors. I need to get out of like using these rainbow colors. I've been doing that a lot lately, but I like the style of it, especially like on this black paper. Um, so, you draw in some fur, right? But then this little patch here, you kind of like just that little patch there, you kind of like make that a little bit more pronounced. And now it looks like three-dimensional fur. That's all there is to it. I don't know. I keep saying that's all there is to it, but I keep talking, so there must be more to it. I don't know. Please tell about us about the pencils you're using. So that's a great question. So I don't know much about the pencils I'm using. The pencils I'm using are these Kalors, and the only reason I'm using them is they were cheap. I think that they were under $30 on Amazon here in the United States. I think so. But no, they're really good. They're like a set of 50 different colors. I've been using them for a while. I've got two sets of pastel pencils, and these are kind of like, if I don't care kind of pencils. The other ones I've got are these really nice set of Derwent pencils, Derwent pastel pencils. They're super soft, and I like them a lot better than these Kalors. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. But the thing is, it's like these are cheap. The Derwent pastels are expensive. So when in doubt, I'm using these just so that I don't burn through my other ones. And that's the only thought that went into it. There's not like any kind of like artistic reason why I'm using one set over the other. It's just economics. It's like use the cheap pastels when you don't care about the picture you're creating. And use the Derwents if you do. Like if I was doing a commission, like if this was somebody's cat or something, I would be using the Derwents just because they're higher quality. There is a difference. These Kalors, just to let you know, they're kind of hard versus the Derwent. And when working in pastels, the hardness of it does matter, right? So like if you're using hard pastels, they work best for like backgrounds and stuff. They don't work very well over like if I wanted to use this pastel over um, like pastel that I've already put in there, it might be a little bit difficult. Now I'm not really struggling with that in this picture, but I have struggled with that depending on how many layers of stuff I put in. Um, like I said, it's not a problem here, but some of these pictures they do. And there's ways to mitigate that. Like I could spray this down with workable fixant and get some more tooth to work with, and then I'll be able to go over it with the harder pencils. But, if I want to go over something that's already been kind of established and stuff, I would probably go off and just use like a softer thing. So by contrast, these, sorry, I wasn't prepared for these questions. By contrast, these stick pastels that I'm using, these are again cheap. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Oh, who. But these are like, I don't know, dirt cheap. I think these were like 20 bucks, maybe 30 bucks on those too. But these are super soft. And super soft means that they're going to come out like really rich colors. They're going to like layer very well. You can kind of like use them to make like just kind of like these buttery type marks. I love these. These are great. These are one of the best things I ever bought. Um, it just amazes me. Like you can get um, you can get like some really good value out of like inexpensive art supplies, essentially. Like, I mean, I could probably afford better, but I'm kind of a cheap person, and I am a student, right? So literally, they make these things like they make cheaper art supplies for students. Um, so I consider myself a student. So while I'm practicing, I don't want to spend a lot of money on this stuff. Um, oh, okay. So you're familiar with the brand. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, honestly, these are great. So like, I would definitely recommend them to anybody. But yeah, if you're looking for like a cheap set of pastels just to practice with, I mean, I say cheap set of pastels as if like you can find better pastels, and you probably could, but like these are just fine. These are fine for creating whatever you want. And you see, like I am not like putting a lot of effort into getting these marks into the paper. I start off with that clear gesso, and then the other thing that I probably didn't mention at the outset is I do use like this clear gesso on the paper to give it that tooth. It's basically glue with like some sort of pumice in it. I think it's like marble, but I'm not really sure. But that gives me like all the tooth and stuff that it's like sandpaper. You just kind of come in here and you just make marks over it. And I'll tell you a secret. The secret is don't think about the marks. Like I kind of think about the marks and stuff, but really it's just kind of like random colors and stuff. Like so I'll put in so like it's hard to see in this lighting and stuff, but this is like kind of like this little purplish kind of like thing. I'll just kind of like add some purple color up here and stuff. Why am I doing that? Because it looks cool. I am not putting that much thought into it. I'm just like, okay, I need to put something up there that's not blue. That's the thought involved. Um, if I put something up there that's not blue, it'll look cool, and that's all I'm doing. Now I do have like a reference picture and stuff like that. So as I'm looking at the cat, I'm like, okay, that cat actually has like a little bit of a highlight in its ear, like its ear. So I'm going to try to duplicate that, and that's all there is to it. Like I explained in my video I made that I posted yesterday, kind of like about my style, or at least like my main style that I've been working on. Um, you know, you can use colors that aren't there in reality, right? So like if I was trying to draw my hand and stuff, like, I've got basic skin tone there and stuff, but it doesn't have to be that way. I can draw my hand blue. I can be like an avatar or Smurf or something like that. Um, you get to experiment with that kind of stuff. And I think it's more visually interesting, like this cat is more visually interesting because I am using, random colors. Bye, Hamrib. Sorry, I missed you leaving. That's such an honor. Like honestly, Hamrib is one of the coolest chicks on YouTube. Definitely check out her art. It puts mine to shame. She is so good, um, especially like with painting and gouache. She makes these like it's not just like it's not like that she's just good at painting. It's like I like the subject matter that she paints. She just like paints people in little slices of life and stuff. I just love that. Like I wish I could like there's no story to this cat really, except this cat is like looking at a mouse wanting to murder it. But her stuff it feels like there's an actual story to it. I'm so jealous of her talent. She is so good. Um, so anyway, whenever like somebody awesome like pops into your thing, you get a little shy. It's like, oh no, like person is like the person's so good. Anyway, I appreciate that. That's so cool. I appreciate that. Yeah. Why do you do it? Because I can. I love that. Yeah. So like, also, it's such good questions. I have to, I have to up my game and actually think about what I'm doing instead of just like making stuff up. But that's what I do. How are we doing on time here? Oh, we're doing great on time. So you got obviously like the highlights over here, and I'm going to kind of like work with that a little bit. But as it kind of like disappears out here into the out into the shaded area, you still have some features that kind of poke through, right? So like you still have kind of like almost a like almost like a cloud of various different colors kind of like just blended together. It's not black is what I'm saying. Even though it's shadow, it's not really black. So we get some colors in there just to kind of like hold that. Get some down here. I should mention when I do clear gesso, I try to do the entire page because you never really know where you're going to be ending up drawing when you're working on these things. Like sometimes I get a little crazy and I just kind of like add some color in places that I wasn't expecting to draw. Like down here, I wasn't really expecting to draw down there, but it calls for it. A little bit of blue in there too. A little bit brighter than I really wanted it to. Just kind of a little bit blend that out. She's right though. Like if you do get into doing pastels, like she was acting like she doesn't know these things. She knows these things. Um, yeah, when you get into like drawing with pastels, it is a mess. Like you do end up with like a bunch of um, powder everywhere and stuff. And if you're not if you actually care about this picture, I don't know how much I care about this picture, but say I did, I would definitely put it inside of like a plastic bag. Like I've got these plastic art bags and stuff. I would definitely get it in that really quick just so it's not picking up dust, picking up cat fur, any of that jazz. But then, yeah, I mean, the idea is that you want to get it framed pretty quickly just so that it kind of like preserves that stuff. Once it's framed, oh, a couple of comments about the framing of these things. So, like, I'm not an expert on that kind of stuff, but you do want to make sure that your frame is matted, right? So, like, you don't want this pressed against the glass. You want it to be like the glass is a little bit away from your dog's digging back there. You want it a little bit away from your actual drawing, like the glass away from your drawing and stuff, so that it doesn't like smear and stuff. But otherwise, it'll hold up. Like I have seen, no fixant, no putting anything into these things. And these pictures will remain embedded in the paper for years and years and years. I have a drawing done by the artist who actually inspired me when I was a kid, like back in, I don't know, like late 80s, I think. And it still holds up, and that's with no fixin or whatever. One of the best part of Jeremy's stream is not only seeing the art being drawn, but also seeing the finished product. Thank you. I appreciate that. Can we send art supplies if we don't have a Linktree? I mean, if you want to send me art supplies, I'll use them. I don't turn down that kind of stuff. I don't, like I appreciate that and don't feel obligated to. I will do this live streaming whether I get sent art supplies or not. But yeah, absolutely. The Linktree thing, like it's just a list of links and stuff. You don't have to worry about all that. But yeah, I appreciate all that kind of stuff. You guys are awesome. You guys this is a good night. Like I got one of my heroes to come in and like say hi. That's so cool. She is so cool. You guys need to absolutely check out her channel. I feel like she was just stopping in to be nice. All right, so starting to lose a little bit of definition over here, so I kind of want to come back and like highlight a few places. We're doing all right all the time. Just highlight a few places. Now, I gotta let you know, like there's some struggling here just because like the tooth is getting filled up, so there's not so many layers I can actually add above this. But the softer the pastel is, the easier it's going to go into those spots. So yeah, so mixing that white with this blue and stuff, it just kind of like looks creamy to me. I really like that. You right, puppy? I like I need to get my puppy checked out. He's been hacking lately. All right, so once the picture gets kind of like to this sort of state, I do kind of come in and start adding some highlights over it and stuff, but that's what I'm going to work on now. Bear with me a moment. Billy Shaw says, I live stream myself opening my mail. If any of you guys are into that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, like I should probably get like a PO box so that I can get mail. Like these are things that I don't think about. I don't know. I'm just here to draw. I'm not here to like do all the YouTube things that people do. I always forget. But yeah, I need to get like a PO box so that I can get mail from people because you guys are awesome. So adding these like little quick highlights and stuff just because you know, well they're kind of needed, but it also gives some definition to these like little areas. Like this little cat nose here. Get a little bit of. You're right, dog. You can wait. Yeah, so that looks cool. Down here, I kind of want to put in some. So I got all this like smoothed out, right? So like that's no good. I want some texture over that, and that's kind of like the way you do soft pastel, in my opinion. Like other people might disagree. I don't know, but you really create these clouds, and then you kind of come over the clouds with some, you know, detail essentially. And I'm going to vary this up a little bit, where some of it is one color and then others. But yeah, you kind of like put in this detail over that smudged out area. Um, Billy Special Delivery Junior. I love it. Yeah. Oh, Billy's channel. So like, I don't know if he has a channel here on YouTube. I imagine he would, but definitely check him out. He's an amazing country music guy. I've listened to some of his work. It's really good. Like I feel like everybody in here tonight is like super talented. You guys are awesome. But yeah, like really, like his music is so good. You guys need to check that stuff out. And anybody else who pops in who has any sort of talent whatsoever in anything, just let me know. I'll give you a shout out because I know it's like, I know it's like, I think this guy's looking pretty good. A little bit smudgy more than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I will carve some of that stuff back out. So get some dark back up in here, and then as far as like down here, if you don't like it, just kind of lift some of that stuff up. So like that was a bit distracting how much it is in there. So you can just kind of use your kneadable eraser and kind of like lift some of that stuff up. It looks worse in on camera than it actually is in person. Leave me alone, doggy. Trying to get this stuff done. Then I'll put you out, okay? Get some fur back here. She gets so upset whenever I tell her to like leave me alone for a moment. It says, I'm super talented, I just haven't figured out what yet. We're all that way. What are you talking about? I like to I like to think I will accomplish something in life. What it is, I don't know yet. My epitaph, I think, will be, well, he did something. We don't know what it was. He did something. Could probably just like work on this all day. I think I'm getting pretty close to being done. So I don't like any like areas like this, right? So like areas where there is nothing going on. So um, I'll just put like a few marks across that. I just basically want to break up any area that's like super smooth. And what better way than with whiskers, because these whiskers can just basically go anywhere on a cat and it's fine. The only thing about the whiskers is you kind of want them to look like whiskers. And sometimes it's a struggle, but um, got that. Do a few in blue. Just gotta take your time with these guys. And back in the day, I would probably try to do this with like, I don't know, like a gel pen after like sealing this up a little bit, but I'm not gonna do that this time. Hmm, There's probably some more work I can do there. That's fine. I believe my kids made one of our cats this color when my kids were little. I think this is a pretty cool little black cat. I know that he's full of color and everything like that, but he's still technically a black cat. Let's see. I want to get a little bit more orange up in here. Sorry, in this phase, I'm kind of like going over things. And I'm like, what are like little changes I can make and stuff, just to make it super cool. I was lying before, by the way, when I said you can't really make mistakes. You can make mistakes. You can make things that you're just not happy with. But the thing is, it's like, when you do make these mistakes and stuff, it's like you quickly get over it. You're like, it's fine. Like say I didn't like what I was doing with this ear, which this ear it's okay, not my favorite ear, but say I didn't like it, I could just like cut this corner of the picture off and call it a day, like if I really really wanted to. Um, you can make mistakes, but there's few mistakes that you can't really recover from. And I think that that's like a large part of drawing or just being an artist in general, creating artworks and stuff. It's problem solving. So like, it's not that you're not going to make mistakes. It's like, how do you fix them and how do you recover from those things? And again, I'm not going to say that there are no recoverable mistake, like things that you can't recover from, because like, I don't want to jinx myself for one, but they're, um, they're not as common as you may think. So you see, like I'm just randomly adding color over here and stuff because, like, this is warm side. Gotta keep the warm side cool, warm and the cool side cool. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of part of the deal. It's like getting this texture in here, I guess. I like using the side of the pastel and then, you know, occasionally a little corner of it just to create some lines. So I like that. I think that's kind of cool. I know that that was like a weird addition there, but I like it. Purple up in there. So that's kind of cool. Looks a little more fluffy that way. So I'm gonna go with that. Get some other orange color in here just to break it up. Are we done on time? All right, I'm gonna spend maybe 5 more minutes on this. Cut the paper off. Yeah, if you don't like it, just cut the paper off. say I only like his eyes, right? I'll just cut the rest of it off. It'll be fine. What's the what's the saying they do in like movie making? Like, we'll fix it in post. Like when it's all done, I can still take it into Photoshop. There is no mistake that you can't recover from. That's going to come back to bite me because it's not true. But um, yeah, like I mean, honestly, like all tools are on the table when it comes to art, in my opinion. Like, I made a joke just now, like about Photoshop, but seriously, like if you don't like how this looks, you know, and you're just doing prints or something, fix it in Photoshop. But no, I like that. That's kind of cool. All right. Marks up here. Trying to think about like little areas that I can get quick pick me ups, little areas that I can kind of quickly improve, and then we'll call it a day. And like how it goes. I sometimes I stare at these things like I do this at night before I go to bed. Like this stream is probably, other than watching some TV or something like that, this is probably the last thing I'll do tonight. Um, just because of my time zone or whatever. But yeah, so like I'll do this and then I'll go to bed and then I'll wake up in the morning the next day and I'll be like, I don't know if I like that. I'll make some adjustments and stuff. So sometimes I do that kind of stuff off screen. But this kind of stuff is just to kind of like give it a little bit of texture, I guess. Cool. A little bit of body down here. And then, all right, just a little bit of fur down here. Just to kind of break up this like little smooth area here. Kind of make some marks up in here. All right, I think this guy's done enough. Jeremy will get up at 3 a.m. to, hey, I've been known to do that. I mean, sometimes it upsets about things, it's like, as part of being an artist. Um, you do start obsessing about things, and yeah, maybe there are a few more lines in here I think I would want to get in here. The thing is, I am pretty happy with this, but there are like, and I am out of time, but there are some marks that I probably will get in here and just do some touch-ups. Like I like this eye, but I feel like there's some more definition that I could do to this eye just to make it look cool. So I will tinker with that kind of stuff off screen. But yeah, I mean, the lighting in here is terrible, by the way. This actually has a little more contrast to it, and the colors are a little bit more vibrant. So I will post this on the community tab probably tomorrow, and you guys can check it out for yourself. But the way I do these things and stuff is I'm happy to leave them partially loose and unfinished like this and stuff. But your thing is your thing. If you wanted to do this kind of style and then come back and then you can add some fixant to this, and that will give you a whole new like layer of tooth, and you can kind of come back over it and do other things to it. I have seen people, work with pastels and not be happy with, the lack of detail or something. I think it's plenty detail, but they may, for whatever reason, not be happy with the amount of detail they can get in. Like maybe they want to get some veins up in these eyes or something like that. That's cool. So you can spray this down with fixant and then come back over it with colored pencils. Colored pencils, especially the kind I have, Prismacolor. They are wax based. They work really well right over the pastel. I can probably use them over the pastel here without even applying any fixant, but certainly with some fixant, that locks all the pastel in there, and you can come directly over it with with colored pencil. Sorry, I'm just obsessed with like little details and stuff like that. I'll probably work on this a little bit off camera just to flesh it out a little bit, fur it out a little bit. But no, it's a beautiful cat. You know, this kind of stuff, that's all artistic preference. Do whatever you want. You know, and I keep it kind of loose. I let the texture of the pastel come through because I think that's a very cool style for working with pastels. Yeah, see, this is still smooth. Like looking on camera, I feel like this is still smooth, too smooth over here. So I'll probably add some texture over here. I don't like any area to be too smooth, right? But it's a combination. It's a combination between the smooth areas and the texture areas and stuff. It just creates this like, I think, again, I think the term is like abstract realism. Um, it's like reality, but enhanced reality, right? So like, honestly, if I saw this cat on the street, I would think that it's got some sort of disease or something. It's probably going to like murder me. But it's still pretty, you know, and so it works in my opinion. But yeah, so I'll probably tinker with this a little bit offline. You guys get the gist of it. I will post the finished piece tomorrow, and yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. I do think I'm just not happy with this area through here, so I might tinker with that a little bit offline. But my dog wants to go out. So anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You guys are awesome. Hamrib, I appreciate you stopping in. Hamrib is like a goddess of YouTube, goddess of gouache and painting. Just one of my idols. So honored for her to stop in. But that doesn't mean that you guys aren't awesome too. I love every single one of you guys. You guys are the best. I appreciate you guys, each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Tuesday night. Hopefully you like this one. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these colorful pieces. Let me know if you're not. Let me know if you want me to work on something else. I know I haven't done any charcoal in a while. If that's your thing, I will get back to it. But just let me know what you want me to draw. You know, sometimes I don't get like a lot of comments down below. That's you know, you want to support the channel and stuff. Give me something to talk about. Drop a comment. I will interact with you guys as much as you guys want or as little as you guys want. But I will see you guys on Thursday. I appreciate it. You guys stay awesome. Thank you so much. Bye. Thanks.